So now we're on to Spider-Man 3. Oh great. Right, as much as I do like Spider-Man 3 for some reasons, there's a major problem I have with the film. I don't like how Peter is in the entire film.
What? Oh,
Spider-Man 3.
oh, that's fine. You said raspberry until about 2 in the morning.
Lol. So in Spider-Man 3, I'm sorry, but Peter, I don't think he would be that ego-driven. He wouldn't be that, you know? And he, like, completely, he's too immature and emotionally stunted to understand why MJ is upset. The Peter from Spider-Man 1 and 2 would not have kissed Gwen in public. I'm sorry he wouldn't. Everything he does. I think all of that should have happened once he got the black suit or something. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work for me. Peter's entire character got changed in Spider-Man 3. He wouldn't... It doesn't work for me at all. Hell, I feel like afterwards, I also feel like Harry became the Green Goblin way too quickly in the film and then just got beaten easily. And then he's just...
Fight scenes.
Yeah, it
The
is.
ding, the ding, ding.
Do you know what I think should have happened? Peter should have tried to talk to Harry about everything that happened. Peter should have been more emotionally strong about this. He should have been more real. He should have been more supportive of MJ and during this troubled time to reinforce Peter's, emotional honesty and maturity. And it should have been about... The film should have been about Peter trying to help Harry. And Harry is someone who's always taking pills, because Harry is trying to stop seeing Norman Osborn all the time. Because his father just keep telling him to kill Peter, but Harry's like, no, I can't do that, he's my best friend. Even though of course Harry would be angry with Peter, and that's why I think Peter would try to talk to Harry and tell him what really happened. I genuinely think that. If anything, I think the film should have started like that. It should have started with Harry alone, upset, and Peter trying to explain things. Yeah, it would be different from the first two films, but I think it should have happened. It should have been a film about that. It should have been a film about this trio of characters who we've come to love for two films. I don't think the black suit should have been in this film. It should have... I don't think Harry should have become the Green Goblin. It should have been a story about characters' faults and learning to overcome them. And Peter would be more than mature enough to guide them through these hardships. Yes, Peter should have his own instabilities, but he should be someone who's managing it, so he's prepared to deal with these things. The villain, from the beginning, should have just been Sandman. Sandman is great in this film, and if the film just focused on him, it would have been absolutely amazing. Like, yes, it should have still been Sandman killed Uncle Ben, and yeah, that would anger Peter, and it would definitely stress him out, but not to the point that he's being a dick about it and stuff, and he still wouldn't kill Sandman, especially since I'm removing the symbiote in my version of it. Instead, it should be about Peter learning to try and understand why and accept it, you know? So, yeah, at the same time, I see why the symbiote would fit in this film, in this version of it, because it would be all of Peter's stress and instability coming through from the symbiote. I suppose so, the symbiote could work in this supposed film, but I suppose in a better written Spider-Man 3, that could have been it. They could have made the symbiote more like Peter's dark side being unleashed, something he's managed for a long time, but something that's clearly been built up over time, dude, since we've clearly seen Spider-Man 2. You know what? Yeah, maybe Spider-Man 3 should have kept in the symbiote, just done in a way different and way better way. Yeah. And Venom is great. I'm gonna be honest, in the actual Spider-Man 3, I like Eddie Brock. He's like the snarky version of Peter, you know? He wants the girl, he wants to be rich and famous, he's a photographer, but he doesn't have any other heart, he doesn't care about anyone, he just wants to be... He's just pride and ego. He's the dark version of Peter, which makes it perfect for the film to be about basically Peter learning to better suppress his dark side, especially when the symbiote emerges, and Eddie Brock will better exemplify that. I also think the film should have handled the fallout of Spider-Man 2 a lot better. Like, MJ's husband should be pissed off. Hell, I think J. Jonah Jameson should actually be pissed off at Peter in Spider-Man 3, because J. Jonah Jameson's son got dumped on by Peter's girlfriend. I mean, come on now. That would cause some drama in the Daily Bugle. So yeah, you know what? I would have kept in the symbiote and Sandman, because if written better, it could actually work. I do think in this version of the film, it should have been 3 hours long. I remember in my version of it, Harry never becomes Green Goblin until the end, and this is when Venom kidnaps MJ. When this happens, Harry does it to help Peter. And because throughout the film, Harry will learn to battle his demons just as Peter would. Just as MJ would too, probably. I don't know, altogether, if all that was done, this film could have been absolutely fucking amazing. And it would have fitted in cleanly, perfectly with the first two. Once again, it's a story about character and dynamics, relationships, and how to be a better person. The same themes of the first two, but done in a new and unique way, where even Peter is kind of the villain for a while. We get to see his bad side, which we only got a bit of in Spider-Man 1. It's perfect. And Spider-Man 3 is not that at all. Spider-Man 3, the actual film, uses way... It just doesn't work. Also, Bernard only tells Harry the truth about his father's death 5 years after it happened. Fucking bullshit, stupid. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, that is dumb.
And that's the reason why Harry changes his mind. Come on. Fucking retarded. I don't think Peter would have killed Sandman. Well, tried to. Maybe tried to, but I feel like even him, he would have been able to stop himself, and that should have been the moment that snaps him out of it. So, yeah. Sam Raimi? I'm sorry, but I do agree. I wouldn't say Spider-Man 3 is your worst film, because I think Multiverse of Madness is, but Spider-Man 3 is definitely your second worst film. It's still great in a lot of ways, the directing, the fight scenes are still great in Spider-Man 3, and there's still a lot to like, but it does not live up to how great the first two are, so I'd call this a B.
Damn.
So yeah, that's ultimately it. That's the Raimi trilogy. Still love it. I still love the third film. I always will. But damn.
In the next video, we should review Andrew.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. So thanks for watching, everyone, and